Yeah. Posted BYU/new spirit_. Boss refused to let me work my hours in contract and tells me to leave if I don't like it? Alrighty. This story is still partly ongoing, so there won't be total grand finale ending, at least for now, but I think it's still kinda okay/nice MC, so here we go. Also, it might be a bit long, so put your seat belts on and grab some drinks. I work, Ed, for a company priding itself to be the leader in its field in my country with very famous name, thus why I am vague in which field. How I got the job I have no idea, but I improved my skills a lot. People at company took liking to me, and now I know it wasn't my golden ticket for the future I hoped for. Anyway, when I signed the contract with them as a salaried employee, I was given specific hours in it, let's say for example 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m, no on-call availability, no 24/7, no flexible working time, no overtime without extra pay, nothing outside those hours, which I happily agreed to. I was also notified, and forced to read and agree with, our internal rules. Rules like FE. You can come anytime between 7 a.m. and 10 a.m. and leave anytime between 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. as long as your hours at the end of the month were what was in the contract. No earlier, no later, no exceptions. No problem. For couple of years I worked hours my colleagues and my boss needed without single complaint outside of my contract. Need me from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Sure. Need to visit a doctor and can't be at work, so you need a substitute? I'll help. Sudden surge of work came during my vacation? Okay, I'll come back and reschedule. You get the gist. I always ended up with quite a lot of unpaid OT hours. I know it was dumb of me, but I didn't complain because I thought when I needed something they would help me out. After some time traveling to and from work by public transport, I bought a car to be faster in and out. One of the reason was travel time, which was cut down by 60%. Now with it came couple of problems. Parking. If I came late home I wouldn't be able to park near my home, and personal/family stuff, which required me to be home early and leave home late, which considering my parking problems was perfect for me. So I went to my department boss and explained my issues. He acted like he understood and will do something about it. Satisfied, I went back to my work and waited. After a month nothing changed. So I went again and he again reassured me. Okay, maybe he was busy, so I'll wait until the next year. The next month was end of the year and we were getting bonus checks for great performance and most profitable year since 2008. I look at mine and it said €50. My good friend in the same department, working as long as I was there, by accident revealed she got over $1,000. Obviously this made me mad, so I went ask my boss why I only got measly pocket change compared to the others. He said because you are not a team player and are causing time issues for everyone. I was shocked. Not only I never seen him so arrogant and condescending, but he said it like I was the problem because I only asked to consider my needs despite me being there whenever they needed me. Strike one. After that I decided to cut down my OT. I mean, I don't work for free and my contract says it would be paid and it wasn't. After several weeks of me saying sorry I can't, or I already worked X hours today, or I have plans for tonight, my department boss was furious. Luckily colleagues understood why I did this, and when there were serious issues I would still help like before. He called me into his office and threatened me with my salary cut in half, more work, and tried to psychologically make me feel insignificant and worthless. Classic case of bossing. Wish I knew that back then. I left pretty angry and wanted to punch someone. Strike two. After that several months went by and I was still fuming. Colleagues were luckily understanding and they helped me more often when I needed to leave or arrive later, and we tried to hide it as best as we could so we all would have boss off our backs. However, more than half of the work we were doing was assigned to me in those months. Department had 10+ people at the time, with tight schedules, and it showed up on my health. Feeling without energy and stressed out, and every Monday I would actually hate to wake up and go to work, but not in the usual haha Monday is terrible way. I visited my GP and got some tests done. Obviously constant stress made a dent on my health, and they came with less than perfect results. This was strike 3 and out for me. So I went to my boss and, still trusting fool, told him about my health issues and asked him to reconsider amount of work he assigns me every day. To this day I don't understand how I didn't punched him in the face, because his response made my brain stall. All it we Bobby can't hand we the stress. Boo-hoo. If you don't like it, leave. And I'll be talking with financial department about your salary. I kid you not, I stood there for over a minute, frozen like a statue, with my mouth opened while he snickered at his joke. When my brain rebooted, I said okay and went full MC on him. I returned 5 minutes later with my resignation letter with 2 months notice. Yeah, law here states MIN 2 months. Slapped it on his desk and told him here is my resignation and feel free to find another fool, and left his office. After that I went back to my work feeling a lot better. But this isn't where story ends. That would be too easy. After a week, CFO with my boss calls me into the meeting to discuss my salary. They try to cut it down by a lot, almost down to minimum wage. When I mention to CFO I am in my 2-month period, he asks me when I gave it to my boss. After I told him, he looks at me, down on the paper, at my boss, and to my boss's horror tears the paper apart. When boss demands explanation, I am told a nice gem I didn't knew: you are in protection period after the notice where salary can't change without your consent, and later I found out from my lawyer other parts of contract too. I was in heaven and my boss in hell. Strike 1 for my boss. Later I had my planned 2 weeks vacation, approved by boss 3 months ago, so he couldn't do with it anything. Suddenly he wanted me to work from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. the whole week before. I refused, stating my contract had specific hours which I was abiding by since the CFO fiasco. I heard nothing from him about that until I returned back from my vacation. Then I found nice emails stating my new hours are 10:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. and 7 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. every other day, and failure to follow this will result in write-up, and internal rules allows me to change your working hours, so suck it. This gem made me sleepless the whole night. I was angry, sad, depressed, and unsure what to do. Luckily, thanks to this insomnia, I had great epiphany. When CFO said my salary can't change without my consent, does it work for other parts of my contract? See the foreshadowing, tongue sticking out. So I went to my family's lawyer. When I told him everything, he said one sentence with every imaginable insult hurled at my boss. Then he took a look at my contract and grinned like a Grinch. Told me as long as I show up on time and leave on time, he can do jack shit to me, and any attempt to change my contract would result in a fine from labor office for breaking the law and possible lawsuit. And he would have helped me with a glee with lawsuit. Strike 2 for my boss. He also helped me write a nice reply to that great email from department boss, which was sent to not only my boss but to CFO, CEO, and company lawyer. The reply was ingenious. Not only it said F***CKU in lawyer speech without saying it directly, but it also made suggestions, threats of possible lawsuit if things continued like this, without using the word lawsuit or litigation. And as a cherry on top, I sent it late in the evening because I knew they would all read it before bedtime. I won't be the only one with sleepless nights. Naturally, I was ecstatic. The very next day in the morning, CEO called me into his office, scared like a headless chicken. Maybe not that scared, but it felt like it, and asked me what was that about. When I explained myself and assured him it's in everyone's best interest to not get lawyers involved and all I want if calm and peaceful time at work where I'm ending, he agreed and said he'd do everything he can to ensure that. Strike 3 and boss is out. Since that morning, boss was avoiding me like a plague and haven't said a word to me unless necessary. All my work was moved to the others and all I had to do was to arrive on time. In the last 2 weeks I was watching videos and browsing Reddit because I had literally nothing to do. Now I'm almost going to miss the work, smiley face. And some good parts at the end. Because I was kinda bored at work and I can watch videos and Reddit at home, and to save on gas and time in traffic jams, I asked my boss if I could just have 2 extra week vacation even though I don't have any days left, you know, because I wasn't doing anything and I don't want to lower the morale of the team with me not doing any work. He gave me papers within an hour. But in true ass boss fashion, his first draft said I would end the day I signed the deal and receive no more money and had to go for unemployment. No no no. I want to finish the month and get paid for a full month. After some bickering with him and HR, I suddenly got a deal and now I am at the start of my another 2-week vacation as of writing this post, smiley face. 2 of my great colleagues, and also most skilled in our department, also couldn't handle him, various reasons, I'm not going to disclose their motives, and gave notice. So his department is down by 3 people before fall/winter surge of work, and it's really hard to find people now because of low unemployment numbers. Because 3 people are leaving basically at the same time, internal audit is scheduled with CEO from another country overseeing it to know what went wrong. Wonder what the results will be, since there were some skeletons in the closet I would rather not reveal here, and surely more than I know of. So now I am here, sitting at home, drinking my iced tea and looking for a new job. But I'll tell you one thing, all that health issues and stress, it's gone, and I haven't felt that good in a long time. Future might be uncertain, but at least I'm not going to get literally killed by some ass boss with issues. Thanks for reading and sorry it's so long. Hope you enjoyed it, smiley face.